In this case, it's a new treatment plant designed to help the developing world turn human waste into, believe it or not, drinkable water.
This is a container of human feces.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funded a new kind of treatment plant in Sedro-Woolley, Washington.
Over 2.5 billion people have no access to safe sanitation. We asked brilliant engineers to help us solve this problem.
It's a huge honor to meet you. Just a quick question. What is wrong with you?
As Mark Twain once said, whiskey is for sipping and water is for fighting. And there's going to be a lot of fighting about this before it's done.
What type of water should we be drinking, and when should we be drinking it, and why should we be drinking water?
It's difficult for me to tell you what water in America. In Honduras, I drink thermal water. It comes out of the ground at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, sometime at 210, little above boiling point, which the boiling point is 212, right? But it comes up at 200, which is purified. Anything that comes out of the ground at 90 and above is purified by nature. In America, when I'm in America, I try to look carefully and see that I drink spring water. Spring water, not distilled water. Distilled water has a pH of 7, which is neutral. It's not good to drink because it will rob you of your minerals. Spring water has the minerals. The dissolved solids are high. So when you buy your water, buy spring water. Don't buy purified water. Spring water.
The other thought I want to give you is think about where most of the water people consume comes from. It comes from the tap water. It comes from the city. Now, most of you have probably heard of the incident that occurred in Flint, Michigan, where they had lead in the water. But let me tell you this, that is not an isolated incident. Most cities have this issue.
My body has a limited capacity of what I can put into it. So I want to put maximum value. Water is empty. As we know it, the water that we're talking about and everybody talks about is empty, it's blank, and it hydrates. That's good. But my water needs to do a whole lot more than that. So I reach for higher height. This is my water source right here. Coconut water, living water, straight from life, straight from nature. So this water has more electrolytes than anything else on the planet. It hydrates, it has potassium, it has loads of minerals. Of course, it has 10% sugar, all the sugar my body needs. So I use it in the morning. This is the first thing, my inner shower with coconut water. Take a little noni juice, or it has the duppy soursop, and that's it. But I do drink water, but it has to come from a plant source, not from the ground.
The other worrisome thing about tap water is most of the filtration systems used in municipalities do not get rid of antibiotics in water, and I can guarantee you that they are in almost all of our commercial water systems.
Shockingly, this environmental catastrophe slips under the radar of public consciousness. Current regulations fall short, with no mandatory PFAS testing for water utilities, leaving the majority of Americans oblivious to the potential chemical cocktail flowing from their taps. Now, PFAS compounds are like those annoying guests who never leave. They don't break down, they just hang around forever. So every sip of tap water is like taking a shot of toxic chemicals. It's almost laughable, really. The government kindly gives us free drinking water, but it's slowly poisoning us. Cheers! The truth is as startling as it is contentious. A relentless pursuit of profits, a glaring lack of effective regulation, and a pervasive public unawareness have conspired to create an environmental and health crisis. Industry giants like DuPont and 3M have, for decades, deliberately continued to manufacture and discard PFAS compounds, placing their financial interests squarely ahead of the well-being of the public. Yep, they knew for a whopping 70 years that they were poisoning us. But hey, who needs ethics when you're making bank, right? Agencies like the FDA and EPA, which are charged with protecting us, have known about the dangers since the 1960s and 1990s, respectively. Despite decades of evidence, their response has been lethargic at best. The stagnation in updating U.S. drinking water standards since the 1990s highlights a chilling neglect of duty, painting a stark picture of a nation betrayed by its custodians of public health. Remember when thousands of unsuspecting Americans got the fright of their lives with a startling advisory? Do not drink your water. Don't even think about cooking with it, or, heaven forbid, using it for anything else. Why? Their trusty H2O, which should have barely brushed against 40 parts per trillion of contaminants, was swimming with a shocking 26,000 parts per trillion. Yikes! Talk about disaster in your kitchen tap.
PFAS contamination is really a national crisis. The more we test, the more we find it. It is the manufacturers like DuPont and 3M who have gotten us here today. So they've known for 70 years that they were poisoning the water, and they didn't tell the EPA, they didn't tell their neighbors, they didn't tell their workers, they didn't tell anyone because they were making too much money. The FDA knew in the 1960s, the Department of Defense knew in the 1970s, the EPA has known since at least the 90s, and they didn't treat the issue with the amount of urgency that it needed.
The EPA doesn't even require regular testing for these chemicals, so most of us are blissfully sipping on our tap water, clueless about the toxic cocktail within. Let's break it down. Water is no small fry. It's over half your body. It's your mojo, your essence, your life juice.
A man said to me, everyone tells me to drink water. You told me why. So let me tell you why. So let's have a look at water loss in a day. So from the kidneys, now please bear with me here because I'm an Australian, so I'm going to say litre, but I think you realise in the US a quart is the same as the litre. So from the kidneys, we have 1.5 litre loss in a day. From the colon, we have 0.3 of a litre loss in the day. From the lungs, we have a 0.2 of a litre loss. And what's a surprise to most is from the skin, we have a 0.5 of a litre loss. So that's 2.5 litre loss, so a litre loss in a 24-hour period. We need to be replacing 2 litres or 2 quarts of water. Well, what about the other? Well, in our magnificent breakfast this morning, we had water coming in through our mango, through our grapefruit, so you see your fruits and vegetables also supply some fluid, but we need to have at least 2 litres of pure water a day.
So why on earth are we still messing around with tap water? That stuff should come with a warning label. May contain traces of yesterday's birth control.
So orange is orange water. Orange juice is orange water. Cucumber juice is cucumber water. This is water that plants sucked out of the earth, filtered, and packaged for us in a pineapple, in an apple, in a pear, peach, strawberry. But yet, we get hung up on bottled water that some water cartel that who have hijacked all our water source, selling us water, which is supposed to be our birthright, selling us water at an exorbitant price, and now calling it food. You go some places, you see an ice machine, say ice is food. And lobbying governments around the world to price water as food now. That's what the water cartel is. And so we bought into it, and we, religiously drinking our 8 glasses of water a day. That water is blank. It's empty. All it's going to do is hydrate. Pineapple water hydrates. It also gives you bromelain. It gives you vitamins. All the juices, whether it's fruit juice, vegetable juice, coconut water, pineapple water, you're getting more than hydration. You're getting minerals, you're getting vitamins, you're getting energy, you're getting life, you're getting electrolytes. Coconut water has more electrolytes than any other beverage, forget food, beverage, period, on this planet. It's the original sports drink.
The dangers lurking in our water extend far beyond just drinking it. Every time we step into a shower or draw a bath, our skin, which happens to be the largest organ of the body, acts like a sponge, absorbing toxic chemicals at a rate faster than if we were to ingest them. While the unsettling taste of tap water might catch our attention, the real threat lies in the very water we use to cleanse ourselves. The question is not just about what's in our drinking water, but what's seeping into our bodies during our most private moments of bathing. Speaking of health hazards, let's travel back to the late 1800s, when using lead for water pipes seemed like a genius idea. It was cheap, sturdy, and plentiful. What could go wrong, right? Fast forward to the 1920s, and states start banning lead pipes because, surprise, surprise, they're toxic. But what about the millions of lead pipes already installed? Enter anti-corrosion chemicals, the quick fix equivalent of putting a Band-Aid on a sinking ship. Classic. Today, millions of Americans are still getting their water through lead pipes, each one a ticking time bomb. Lead exposure, especially for kids, is a horror story in itself. Developmental delays, poor muscle coordination, nervous system damage, and more. And that's just the lead. We've got a cocktail of other chemicals to worry about too. So not only is the government not your health's knight in shining armor, but your local water utility couldn't care less either, even if they suddenly decided to vanquish every villainous PFAS chemical, rogue pharmaceutical, and rebellious lead scrap. Guess what? The damage might already be done. We've been marinating in this chemical cocktail for over a century. And get this, those chemicals might be ninja editing our DNA as we speak. Fish exposed to pharmaceuticals didn't start flipping their fins differently until a few generations later. That means the sneaky substances you're sipping today could be plotting a hormonal revolution for your descendants. How's that for a twist? And just when you think, I'll just switch to bottled water, you better reconsider. You think bottled water comes from untouched, crystal clear streams, right? Think again.
It's a sobering study and could have profound health implications on the way we consume water. Scientists at Columbia and Rutgers now say an average liter of bottled water contains nearly 250,000 particles of nanoplastics, each the fraction of the width of a human hair. There's been a wealth of research on larger microplastics, much of which end up in oceans, breaking down into tiny fragments. A potential environmental nightmare, but the World Health Organization has called the medical risk low. But with nanoplastics,
believe it or not, nearly half of all bottled water is glorified tap water, given a makeover and sold at prices up to 3,000 times higher than regular tap water. Yes, you heard that right. Like other products, bottled water gets recalled, yet you probably never hear about it. Over 100 recalls of contaminated bottled water have occurred, often months after hitting store shelves. Dr. Gleek is particularly worried that the public rarely gets the memo.
These bottled water recalls, the other interesting thing about them was the FDA says the company, how many bottles were bottled, where they were sold, what the cause of the contamination was, and when the recall was. And the average time after bottling for when the recall occurred was 2 or 3 months. So the product is produced, it goes to the shelf, it's sold. 2 or 3 months later, there's a recall. That's not all that protective of public health, in my opinion.
What kind of nasty stuff has been found in your pure bottled water? Brace yourself. Benzene, mold, sodium hydroxide, kerosene, styrene, algae, yeast, sand, fecal coliform, poop bacteria, elevated chlorine, glass particles, sanitizer, and crickets. Yes, you heard that right, crickets. If you thought bottled water had stricter purity standards than tap water, think again. Tap water is regulated by the EPA, while bottled water falls under the FDA's looser regulations. The FDA doesn't even monitor some contaminants that may be in bottled water and doesn't require bottlers to provide water quality reports to consumers. According to Dr. Gleek, our standards for protecting both tap water and bottled water ought to be stricter, but believe it or not, tap water is better regulated. Now, let's talk about labels. Think you're getting Arctic spring water from Florida, Everest water from Texas, Glacier Mountain water from Ohio and New Jersey, or Yosemite water from Los Angeles? These names can be more misleading than your high school drama queen. Dr. Gleek insists we need stricter rules for honest labeling.
It doesn't tell us for water the things that we want to know. And yet, because it's a food product and because the FDA doesn't regulate it very carefully, this is what we get. But there are other things about labeling that are kind of interesting, and there's branding. So what's in a name? And bottled water companies pick names that they think you're going to like. Aquafina, Evian, Fiji water, Arctic Wolf Spring, Arctic Clear, Arctic Springs, Arctic bottled water. I mean, Arctic is, the Arctic is pure. We happen to be melting it now, but it's pure. Glacier Mountain Natural Spring Water, Glacier Bottled Water, Glacier Spring Water, Alaska Premium Glacier, Everest, Yosemite. These are names of bottled waters. And on the right, I've listed where that water actually comes from. And just to give you a couple of examples, Arctic Clear comes from Bartlett, Tennessee. Arctic Springs comes from Los Angeles. Glacier Mountain natural spring water comes from New Jersey. Okay, so the last time there were glaciers or mountains in New Jersey was the last ice age, which was about 8,000 or 9,000 years ago. One of my favorites, Alaska Premium Glacier comes from pipe 11241 from Juneau, Alaska Municipal Water System, which is neither premium nor glacier, in my opinion. Yosemite water came from the Los Angeles Municipal Supply. You get the idea. Branding. We're being advertised something that may not, when you dig down, be what you think it is.
Now, we aren't the all-knowing gurus, but here's a hot tip we live by. Stick to natural spring water. Yes, spring water isn't just about quenching your thirst. It's brimming with life-enhancing nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and potassium. These aren't just fancy names. They're the very elements that strengthen your bones, energize your muscles, and fuel your entire body, ensuring you're at your best every single day. Think fancy Italian springs like San Pellegrino, Lauricia, or even Mountain Valley from Oklahoma.
The best water, in my opinion, is natural spring water bottled at the source. That means that they went to the mountain, they went to the spring, and they bottled it there. That's the best way to get your water, because most mountains and valleys are away from a lot of the pollution and things of that nature that are getting in there.
It might cost a bit more, but hey, it's less likely to mutate your DNA or mess with your future family tree. We're not in cahoots with these brands, but if they are watching, hey, hit us up. Enter alkaline water, a game changer. With a higher pH level, alkaline water neutralizes the acid in your bloodstream, boosting your metabolism and improving the absorption of nutrients. It's not just water, it's a full-blown health elixir. Some people swear by its ability to slow aging, prevent chronic diseases, and even fight cancer. Skeptical? Just ask the countless individuals who have seen their energy levels skyrocket and their skin glow like never before after making the switch. The healing benefits of alkaline water go beyond just balancing your pH. It's packed with antioxidants that combat harmful free radicals, potentially reducing the risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and arthritis. It's like a mini detox every time you take a sip. And let's not forget hydration. Your body absorbs alkaline water more quickly, meaning you stay hydrated longer and better. Think you're staying hydrated just by drinking water? Think again. While chugging down glasses of water is great, you're missing out if you're not also tapping into one of the most underrated hydration sources out there.
The primary way we should be hydrating is through our food. Like, you should be eating hydrating foods.
Wow.
Because when you think about it, when you make juices with cucumbers and fruits and other types of vegetables and green leafy vegetables, etc., they create water.
Yes, those colorful bites of nature's goodness are packed with more hydration power than you might realize. And they come with a whole host of other benefits that plain old water just can't offer.
Vine of the watermelon taps into a spring that are under the ground and are pumping water out of the earth, spring water, and packaging it in these big, beautiful 2-gallon, 3-gallon bottles that we call watermelon.
Let's start with the obvious, watermelon. It's practically water in a solid form, with a whopping 92% water content. But here's where it gets interesting. Watermelon isn't just about quenching your thirst. It's loaded with antioxidants like lycopene that fight off free radicals, keeping your cells in top-notch shape. So you're not just hydrating, you're boosting your body's defense systems. Then there's cucumber, the crunchy, refreshing hero of hydration. Cucumber is 95% water, making it one of the most hydrating veggies around. But it doesn't stop there. It's also packed with electrolytes, the very minerals you lose when you sweat. So think of cucumber as your natural Gatorade, without the artificial colors and sugar. Let's not forget about celery. This green stick might look like diet food, but it's a hydration powerhouse with 95% water content. Plus, it's a natural diuretic, helping to flush out toxins from your body while keeping you hydrated. And those electrolytes? Celery's got them too. So while you're munching away, you're not just filling up, you're replenishing your body's vital nutrients. But here's the kicker. Most people don't realize that hydration isn't just about water. It's about a balance of water and electrolytes. And that's where fruits and veggies come in strong. Take strawberries, for instance. These juicy red gems are about 91% water, but they're also loaded with vitamins C and K, fiber, and more antioxidants than you can shake a stick at. It's like getting a hydration boost and a multivitamin in one delicious bite. And don't sleep on oranges and grapefruit. These citrus fruits are refreshing with their high water content and bursting with vitamin C, which is crucial for a healthy immune system. You're not just hydrating, you're giving your body the tools it needs to fight off illness. Let's not forget about the ultimate natural hydrator, coconut water. If you're looking for something that takes hydration to the next level, this is it.
My primary hydration is coconut water.
Okay.
We have about 200 coconut trees on the farm. There you go.
Yeah, take some coconut water right now.
So we have about 200 trees on the farm. So, I'm hydrating with the coconuts. And the reason why coconuts are the perfect sort of solution, pun intended, is because, at the end of the day, coconut water is a perfect water. It's inside of the coconut. It's protected from any kind of impurities. The second thing is that it's flooded with nutrients. It's flooded with not only the minerals that you need, because that's what makes water alkaline.
Coconut water isn't just a thirst quencher, it's a hydration powerhouse that blows even the fanciest sports drinks out of the water, literally. Coconut water is nature's Gatorade, but without the artificial flavors, colors, or added sugars. It's packed with electrolytes like potassium, magnesium, and sodium, which are crucial for keeping your body balanced, especially after a workout or on a hot day. When you drink coconut water, you're not just dehydrating, you're replenishing essential nutrients that help your muscles function better, prevent cramps, and keep your energy levels up. And here's the best part. Coconut water is about 95% water. But it's not just any water. It's naturally filtered through the coconut tree for 9 months. So you're drinking some of the purest, most mineral-rich water on the planet when you crack one open. It's like tapping into a pristine natural spring, but with way more benefits. What makes coconut water stand out even more is its ability to hydrate on a cellular level. Thanks to its unique composition, coconut water is easily absorbed by your body, making it one of the most efficient ways to stay hydrated. And if that wasn't enough, it's low in calories and fat. Yet it delivers a sweet, satisfying taste that makes drinking water feel like a treat rather than a chore. But don't be fooled by its sweet tropical flavor. Coconut water is more than just a refreshing drink. It's a powerful health booster. It's been shown to support heart health, aid digestion, and even help with weight management. So when you sip on coconut water, you're not just hydrating, you're nourishing your entire body. In the battle of hydration, there are far better options than reaching for a glass of tap water. By embracing alkaline water, hydrating fruits and veggies, and the pure power of coconut water, you can elevate your health, stay truly hydrated, and give your body the nourishment it deserves. It's time to hydrate smarter, not harder. And about that daily shower in tap water, yikes! We're trying out a new shower filter that zaps away all the nasties. Chloramine, chlorine, fluoride, lead, you name it.
The reason we want to put a shower filter up in our shower is because it removes the chlorine from the water. So chlorine is a known carcinogen, and I don't want to be taking a shower every day with that flowing down over my hair and skin. And it's also not good for your thyroid or your respiratory system. And it just dries your skin out, makes it itchy in general. So the one that I picked up is the Sprite shower filter, and I picked this up at Home Depot. And it's real easy to install, and it's low profile, so when you put it on, you won't be bumping your head on your shower head.